Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be showing you how to take a daytime look straight into an evening look. I know a lot of times we don't have enough time in the day to completely wash our face off if we've had the time during the day to wear makeup. We just kind of want to be able to add and layer on. And it's just nice to be able to have multiple options with your makeup. I'm going to be using Jaclyn Hill by Morphe palette. If you'd like to see how we went from daytime to this, please keep watching. Okay, so let's get this party started. Right now, I'm sure I look a little bit crazy because I've gone in and I've primed and powdered my face and done my brows to get everything set for this daytime look. If you want to see how I got this far into the look, you can look at the video that I'll link down below. It's my glowy makeup tutorial. And so now we'll just go ahead and get started with our eyes. And I know everybody and their mom is doing tutorials using this beautiful palette. This is what it looks like on the inside. And so let's go ahead and get started. All right, so first I'm gonna go in with a big blending brush, and I'm gonna go in with what we call a transition color. And the transition color really is meant to be placed kind of like right up here on the upper part of the crease, so it makes everything seem smooth and seamless when you put in any darker shades. That's why when you look at some people that have a smoky eye and they've done it and it looks beautiful and flawless, you're like, how did they do that? And it didn't look like they got punched in the face. That's because they didn't go in with like a dark black right off the bat. So I'm gonna show you guys how to do that. So first we're gonna go in with a transition shade. And again, this is gonna be our daytime look. So we're gonna keep this one pretty simple. And this is the shade called MFEO. And it looks like this. Right there. And I'm gonna go in using my Morphe M441 brush. And so we're just gonna put that all over that transition area. And we'll repeat the other side, same thing. Now using the same brush, we're gonna go into a slightly darker shade. Let's do butter. I'll show you what butter looks like. Okay, so just for perspective here, this is MFEO right there. This is butter, just slightly darker. And we're gonna start on that outside of the lid, a little lower than where we put MFEO, and just kind of blend it across. I'm hoping that you guys can see this. Maybe I'll zoom it in a little bit more. Yeah, can we talk about 4th of July and how did not reapply sunscreen enough, and now I look like a lobster. I have not been this badly burned since I was a kid. I'm usually so good, and I felt like I was so good. I am just not meant to be out in the sun all day long, I guess. And I'm going to just switch up my brush now. I'm gonna go in with the Morphe 433, slightly smaller, but same shade. I'm gonna go in with butter, and we're just gonna get a little bit lower. Okay, repeat the process other eye, on the lid, and in the crease. You can see I'm kind of tapping. When you tap like that, it deposits more color. It makes it a little bit more opaque. And just kind of blend. Make sure we're even. And now right kind of in this inner portion of the lid, I'm gonna get a flat brush. I don't know the name of this brush, but what it looks like, it's just kind of this flat, it almost looks like a concealer brush, like a small concealer brush, and that would work. Let's go in with Sissy. Sissy is this really pretty color. And we'll just pop that right on the lid, keeping it low and keeping it light. If you want to go more intense with the color, you can wet your brush using, well, my favorite thing to use is MAC Fix Plus. So if you just put your brush into the product, and then this is what MAC Fix Plus looks like, and then just spray the brush. Now when we apply, it's going to be much more intense of a shimmer. And then I'm just going to go ahead and take what's left on my brush and do under my eyes in the inner part, not quite the tear duct. And then with a small pencil brush, my Mikasa E310, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to grab MFEO again and just go right under the lash line. And then just a little bit of butter. I think that's pretty good for our shadow application. I don't usually use a pencil to line my eyes. A lot of times I just use a shadow. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick the shade Central Park. And Central Park is kind of like this chocolate brown right here. I'm gonna use my Luxie 221 flat definer brush. A lot of times during the day, I'll just kind of go 3/4 of the way in, dot it on, and then I just kind of go back and forth to smoke it out. And then I'm gonna tight line. And again, tight lining is just pushing up under your lashes. And make sure I don't have any fallout from my eyeshadow. That's if you're applying your eyeshadow and it kind of trickles down to your cheek. I always tell clients, you never want to use your fingers to wipe it away because that will just smear everything. You want to take a brush. This already has a little bit of RCMA powder on it, which I talked about in my last video. And I will talk about it again in this video, but I'm just gonna, I don't really see anything, but just to be safe. Okay, now we're gonna go ahead and go in with mascara. For daytime, I think most people can use black mascara, day, night, whatever. I'm so fair complected. Sometimes I like to go in with a brown. And this is the Lash Blast Volume by CoverGirl in the shade brown. It looks like this. And I'm not sure how to get this focusing thing to happen. So I think part of my problem is my bar is my background. But I refuse to change that because I feel like it's just so me. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna do my lower lash line first because I've found if I do my upper lash line first, then when I look up to do my lower lash line, I end up getting dots like right on my lid and I've just, you know, messed up my eyeshadow. All right, now I'm gonna go ahead and do my upper lash line. I like to roll the product at the base of my lash and then get the rest of my lashes up at the top. I feel like when you deposit the majority of the product at the base of the lash and then kind of squiggle up the lashes, you get more of a wispy effect to your lash. Now, if you find that you do have some clumpiness going on, just go in with a spoolie. This is what a spoolie looks like. And just kind of brush through your lashes. I wasn't sure I was gonna do an inner corner highlight for the daytime. I think I'm gonna just pop on a little bit. And this is the Morphe 326 detail brush right here. I'm gonna go in with the shade Beam, in this color right here. And just pop it right in the tear duct. And that just like really opens up the eye. And then I'll take a little bit and do right on the brow bone. I feel like it's a pretty eye, I do, but this inner rim, I want it to pop a little bit. There's this product by NYX called the Wonder Pencil. Let's go in and do our inner waterline. Again, you don't have to do this, and if I was doing this in the correct order, I would have done it actually before I put on my mascara. It just kind of opens up the whites of the eyes, pops them a little bit. All right, I think I want to go in actually with a little bit more MFEO. Blend it up a little bit more. Even though it's a daytime look, having it look nice and smoked out and blown out, I always feel like is so pretty. Moving right along to blush, I'm gonna go in with an e.l.f. palette. I think I'm gonna go with the dark quad. I'm gonna go in with this shade and this shade. So just going right in with the brush to both colors and then applying. Now we're gonna go ahead and highlight. I am going to use a super affordable highlighter. I'm trying to think of how much I spent on it. I think it was $6, no joke. And it kind of reminds me of the same highlighter by Jouer in Rose Quartz. I don't have it with me, so I can't compare it because that highlighter broke, but I feel like this is similar when it goes on. This is the Revolution Vivid Baked Highlighter in the shade Peach Lights. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna use my Morphe 510 to highlight. And if you don't wanna highlight during the day, you don't have to. And a little down the nose. A little for the Cupid's bow. Moving on to lips. This is the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Pencil in Ozone. I don't know if you can see, but it just really fills in those lines. Now that we have our lips primed, I am going to, so, you know, if you just want to throw on a gloss, you can throw on a gloss. I am going to do a little bit of liner. This is, again, by Urban Decay and their 24/7 Glide On Lip Pencil, and it is in the shade Rush. I'm going to go ahead and fill in the entire lip now. So now I'm going to go over that with Stark Naked. It is another Urban Decay product from their Vice collection. It's nice. It's good, it's everyday, so I'm gonna set using the Kat Von D Lock-It Setting Spray. So now we have our everyday look, and I'm gonna show you how you can take this up a notch in just a few simple steps using the same palette. Let's go ahead and go in with Buns. I'm using that Morphe 433 brush. Using that same brush that we used a while, like in the beginning for our day look, we used it with the shade Sissy. And we're gonna go in with Mocha right there. And I'm just gonna pop it on the outer corner here. Now once you have it on, you're gonna go back in with the M433 brush, and you're just gonna kind of blend it. So you see, I've definitely gone up a bit above my natural crease. So when your eyes are open, you can still see that color. Now this is if you want to take it like a little step further on the dramatic side, you can go in with a little bit of a darker shade and just kind of pop it right on the outside of the eye. And with this shade Central Park, it's this deeper, the deepest brown in the palette. I'm gonna go in with my Mikasa E310 pencil brush. I'm gonna go in with a blending brush that has absolutely no eyeshadow on it. This is the Mikasa E300, and I'm blending in that crease area. I wanna keep it darkest, closest to my lash line. Now, as you can see, by applying these different shades of brown, we've created this nice gradient effect. So it's not like, boom, brown got punched in the face. Like, it really looks nice and smooth and blown out, which is what we're going for. We're gonna go ahead and let's do our bottom lash line. I'm gonna go in to start with the Luxie 221 liner brush again, and I'm gonna go in with that Central Park, that dark brown shade again. And you know what, this is where, just in case we have any fallout, I told you I was gonna talk about that RCMA powder again. I'm gonna go in with a beauty sponge, and I'm just gonna put a bunch like right here. All right, so back to our lower lash line. We're gonna go all the way across. So I know we look kind of crazy for the moment, but this is a really great trick. And don't worry about being perfect, because we're gonna go and blend this out anyway. I'm gonna take my pencil brush again, that Mikasa E310 pencil brush, and I'm gonna go into the shade Butter and just kind of blend it all out. So when I found the best way, if you have like a harsh line and you really need to buff that out, you can go in with a shade lighter or just take a clean brush and just kind of do circular motions. Now, I really want to pop that inner eye on my lower lash line. So I'm going to go in with the shade Faint. Pop that on with an M326 by Morphe. And I think I'm going to use some MAC Fix Plus just to make it a little bit more intensified. And then I'm going to now move on to liner and tight lining. I like to use this Maybelline Eye Studio Blackest Black gel liner. I just press up into my upper lash line. Okay, so now we still have brown mascara on from earlier. I am just going to ever so lightly layer on some black over it. I'm going to use a spoolie and I'm just going to brush through the mascara that's on. I'm not taking it off. I'm just kind of brushing it through. And now that I've tight lined with that gel, I'm going to go into the black from the Jaclyn palette, Abyss, and I'm going to set that gel liner with powder. And we're just going to use some Abyss right on top. Doesn't need to be super perfect because I plan on putting on some false lashes in a minute. I mean, that looks pretty too. You don't really have to go any further, but like I said, I'm gonna put on some lashes. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna take some black mascara, This is the L'Oreal Voluminous Carbon Black, like the original. And then I'm gonna take a spoolie while we're still wet and just run it through. Now I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to put on my lashes. And if you guys wanna see a tutorial on how to do lashes, I can do that next actually. I'm gonna do the velour lashes in the style Fluff and Edgy. And I'm gonna pop those on real fast off camera. I'll be right back. Now, the key to making lashes look as seamless as possible if you're gonna go ahead and wear them is getting them as close to your natural lash line as possible. And I'm gonna do that tight lining step just to make sure I don't wanna see anything poking through, like skin-wise. So now we have gotten to the point where we can sweep away this loose powder. This is the Morphe 438. I just like the shape of it. It kind of just wipes it away nice and seamlessly. And I'm gonna take that NYX Wonder Pencil that I used for the daytime look, and I'm just gonna go back into that waterline and kind of open up that eye again just a little more. And for my lips, like I really do like this lip color. I think it goes really well, even as an evening nude, but just because, let's just take it up a notch. Not necessarily color-wise, but we're gonna grab this Jouer lip topper in the shade Skinny Dip. And this has this really, really pretty metal effect without being too overly holographic, but it's really on trend. I think that completes the look. I'm gonna go ahead and just set myself a little bit more with some setting spray. And a trick, if you've found that throughout the day your lashes have gotten kind of wonky, while they're wet, after you've done your setting spray, take a spoolie and just brush through them. And it works like a charm. Here's the final look. Okay, well, I hope you guys have enjoyed seeing how I take a day look and I translate that to a nighttime look using some of the same products, just a couple extras. Take this, do what you want with it. You don't have to do every single step the same way, but it's just some inspiration, a couple of ideas. I have so much fun doing it. I hope that you've had fun watching me and that you've gotten some ideas of your own and that this mess has not been distracting for you, and let it be a lesson. Reapply that sunscreen, people. Anyways, thanks for watching.